You're standing in your kitchen holding an egg, and for the 10th time this month, you're asking yourself, is this going to hurt my heart or help my body? Maybe you've been eating eggs every morning for years, or maybe you gave them up decades ago when your doctor said they were dangerous. Either way, you're about to learn something that will change how you think about this simple food forever. Here's the truth. The answer isn't the same for everyone. Your age, your blood sugar levels, and what you eat alongside those eggs determine whether they're supporting your health or slowly working against it. I've spent years reviewing nutrition research from institutions like Harvard Medical School, the Mayo Clinic, and the National Institutes of Health. What I discovered might shock you. The standard advice you've been following could be completely wrong for your specific situation. Some people can eat 2 eggs every single day and actually reduce their risk of dying from heart disease. Others, and you might be one of them, could be quietly increasing their diabetes risk by eating just 1 egg daily. The difference comes down to 3 factors most people never consider. And the dangerous part, you might feel perfectly fine right now while your body is already showing warning signs you can't see without the right tests. Before we get into the exact numbers backed by research, I want to make sure you're getting the complete picture from trusted sources. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss science-backed health information that actually matters for your life. Drop a comment below telling us where you're watching from. I love connecting with viewers from around the world. Now let's get into what the research really shows about eggs and your health. Everything I'm about to share comes directly from peer-reviewed research. These aren't opinions or trends. These are findings from studies that followed hundreds of thousands of people for decades. Harvard Medical School tracked over 200,000 people for more than 20 years. The Mayo Clinic has analyzed this data extensively. Research published by the National Institutes of Health examined participants across multiple continents. What they found challenges what many of us were taught about eggs and cholesterol. But here's what matters for you specifically. Your current health status changes everything. Are you over 60 years old? That changes the recommendation. Do you have diabetes or pre-diabetes? Different answer. Is your cholesterol already high? The safe number shifts again. Do you exercise regularly and eat mostly whole foods? That matters too. Think of your liver as a factory that produces cholesterol every single day, about 1,000 hours of it. 1 egg contains roughly 185 milliliters of cholesterol. For most people, when you eat more cholesterol, your liver simply makes less. The system balances itself. But that's not true for everyone. Some people have a system that doesn't adjust well. Their liver keeps producing high amounts of cholesterol even when they're eating it from food. This is where problems begin. Age affects this too. Research shows that people over 65 process dietary cholesterol differently than younger adults. Their blood cholesterol levels are less affected by the cholesterol in food. This is why the safe number of eggs changes as you get older. The science is clear on one thing. There's no single answer that works for every person. What we need to look at are the different groups of people and what the research shows for each one. Let's start with healthy adults under 65 who have normal cholesterol levels and no diabetes. If this describes you, the research is reassuring. According to the Mayo Clinic, most healthy people can eat up to 7 eggs per week without affecting their heart health. Harvard Medical School research confirms that eating up to 1 egg per day appears safe for most people and doesn't increase the risk of heart disease. A comprehensive review published in 2020 analyzed data from multiple studies involving over 215,000 participants. The researchers found that consuming up to 1 egg per day showed no significant association with coronary heart disease or stroke in the general population. What makes eggs valuable? 1 egg gives you 6 grams of complete protein containing all 9 essential amino acids your body cannot make on its own. Eggs provide almost 0 carbohydrates, making them useful for people managing their blood sugar. But the real nutritional star inside an egg is choline. Your brain needs choline to produce acetylcholine, a chemical messenger involved in memory and muscle control. One large egg contains approximately 147 milliliters of choline, about 27% of the daily adequate intake for adults. Research indicates that approximately 90% of Americans don't consume enough choline in their diet. Eggs are among the most concentrated and affordable sources of this nutrient. Eggs also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, two antioxidants that concentrate in your eyes. Studies show these compounds may protect against age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of blindness in people over 60. Your body absorbs these antioxidants more effectively from eggs than from plant sources. One study found that eating just one egg daily for 5 weeks increased blood levels of lutein by 26% and zeaxanthin by 38% in older adults. For healthy adults, 1 egg per day, 7 per week, appears safe based on current evidence from major research institutions. If you're over 65, the recommendations actually become more generous, not more restrictive. This surprises many people, but the research backs it up. Cleveland Clinic nutrition experts state that people over 65 with normal cholesterol levels can safely eat up to 2 whole eggs per day. Why? Because research shows that cholesterol from food affects blood cholesterol levels less in older adults compared to younger people. This is significant because as we age, we often eat less food overall, yet our protein needs actually increase. Older adults need more protein to maintain muscle mass and strength. Loss of muscle mass, called sarcopenia, is a major health concern for seniors that increases fall risk and reduces independence. A study published in the journal Nutrients in 2025 examined 8,756 adults aged 70 and older. Researchers found that those who consumed eggs 1 to 6 times per week had a 29% lower risk of cardiovascular disease-related death compared to those who rarely or never ate eggs. The same study showed even stronger results when eggs were part of a high-quality diet. Older adults with moderate to high diet quality who ate eggs regularly had a 33 to 44% lower risk of cardiovascular disease death. The key phrase there is high-quality diet. These seniors weren't eating eggs with processed meats, fried foods, and refined carbohydrates every day. For seniors, eggs provide more than just protein. They're one of the few natural food sources of vitamin D, which becomes even more important as we age. Vitamin D helps with calcium absorption for bone health and supports immune function. 2 eggs provide approximately 82% of the daily recommended intake of vitamin D, 49% of folate, and 41% of selenium, all nutrients that seniors often lack. If you're over 65 with normal cholesterol and no diabetes, up to 2 eggs daily appears safe and may even support your longevity when part of an overall healthy eating pattern. This is where the research tells a very different story. If you have diabetes, pre-diabetes, or high cholesterol, you need to pay close attention. Multiple, large studies have found associations between higher egg consumption and increased health risks in people with diabetes. Research following nearly 200,000 U.S. veterans found that eating just 1 egg per day was associated with a slightly elevated risk of heart attacks. This effect was strongest in people who had diabetes or were overweight. A study from the China Health and Nutrition Survey that followed over 8,500 adults found that people who regularly consumed 1 or more eggs per day increased their risk of developing diabetes by approximately 60% compared to those who ate very few eggs. An analysis from 3 major U.S. studies, the Nurses Health Study, Nurses Health Study 2, and Health Professionals Follow-Up Study, tracked over 200,000 participants for decades. They found that each additional egg per day was associated with a 14% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. However, there's an important detail here. These associations were not consistent across all populations. European studies didn't show the same level of risk. The relationship appears to be influenced by what else people eat with their eggs and their overall dietary patterns. For people with existing diabetes, some research suggests that eggs could increase cardiovascular disease risk. A systematic review found that 4 out of 6 studies examining cardiovascular disease among people with diabetes showed statistically significant associations with egg consumption. But there's also evidence on the other side. A study published by Diabetes Canada examined people with diabetes who ate 6 to 12 eggs per week. Researchers found no negative impact on cholesterol, triglycerides, fasting glucose, or insulin levels. The safest approach based on current evidence, if you have diabetes, prediabetes, or high cholesterol, limit whole eggs to 3 to 4 per week. Cleveland Clinic recommends this same guideline for anyone who wants to be cautious about cholesterol intake. You can use egg whites more freely as they contain protein, but no cholesterol. Next, what matters most? Here's something that every major health institution agrees on. The egg itself is rarely the problem. The problem is what you eat with it. Consider a typical restaurant breakfast. Eggs fried in butter, served with bacon or sausage, hash browns cooked in oil, and white toast with more butter. That single meal might contain over 1,000 calories and 20 g of saturated fat. Compare that to 2 eggs scrambled with olive oil served with sautéed spinach, tomatoes, and a slice of whole grain toast. Completely different impact on your body. Research consistently shows that when eggs are part of a diet rich in vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins, they appear to have neutral or even beneficial effects on health markers. When eggs are regularly eaten with processed meats, fried foods, and refined carbohydrates, health risks increase. The Cleveland Clinic puts it simply, it's not the egg, it's the company the egg keeps. How you cook your eggs matters too. Boiling, poaching, or scrambling with minimal oil preserves the nutrients and keeps calories reasonable. Frying in bacon grease or loading eggs with cheese and sour cream changes the nutritional profile completely. The quality of the eggs themselves can make a difference. Research shows that pasture-raised eggs contain 2 to 3 times more omega-3 fatty acids than conventional eggs. They also have higher levels of vitamins D and E. Studies indicate that organic or pasture-raised egg yolks tend to have less cholesterol and higher levels of beneficial nutrients compared to eggs from caged hens fed only grain. But here's the most important point. If you haven't had blood work done recently, you're making decisions without data. High cholesterol has no symptoms. Prediabetes often has no symptoms. Early heart disease has no symptoms. You could feel perfectly healthy while your cholesterol or blood sugar is creeping higher. This is why knowing your numbers matters more than following general guidelines. Next, practical recommendations. Based on all the research from Harvard Medical School, Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, and peer-reviewed studies, here are the evidence-based recommendations for healthy adults under 65 with normal cholesterol and no diabetes. Up to 1 egg per day, 7 per week, appears safe. This is the level where research consistently shows no increased health risks. For adults over 65 with normal cholesterol, up to 2 eggs per day appears safe and may support muscle maintenance and overall health when part of a balanced diet. For people with diabetes, prediabetes, or high cholesterol, limit whole eggs to 3 to 4 per week. Use egg whites more freely if you want eggs more often. Work with your doctor for personalized guidance, but numbers alone aren't enough. Focus on how you prepare eggs and what you eat alongside them. Choose boiling, poaching, or light scrambling over frying. Pair eggs with vegetables and whole grains instead of processed meats and refined carbs. If you're over 50 or have any health concerns, schedule blood work. Know your cholesterol levels and blood sugar. Make decisions based on facts about your body, not assumptions. The research is clear. For most people, eggs can be part of a healthy diet, but most people might not include you. What matters is understanding your specific situation. If this information helped clear up the confusion about eggs, give this video a thumbs up. Share it with someone who's been asking the same questions about whether eggs are helping or hurting their health. Maybe a parent, friend, or partner who needs this information. Drop a comment below with your biggest question about eggs and nutrition. I read every comment, and your questions help me create content that answers what you actually want to know. Your health deserves decisions based on science, not fear or outdated advice. Stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.